Hey guys, so back at it again. Um, Last time we managed to implement loadouts, as you can see here, as we still have it loaded. It went pretty well. You got at least the basics of it, and it works. So we added some data, we pulled from the database, made it so we loaded each individual part, the weapons and each of the armor parts. Is there six? There is six, isn't that cool? Right. And then general proof of concepts that the damage reduction side of things works. That was pretty cool. Now we need to be able to be shot at. So I figure we should actually make some AI. Because we already have the basis for firing at things, which is really straightforward. We just have a weapon and we say shoot in this general direction. So in theory, the AI should be the same gimmick as this, but it's also going to use the event system up here to determine how to react to certain things. So, just whilst I explain, I'll fire it all up. So in essence, we need to utilize the event manager so that we can detect when we've been shot, and then we'll eventually be using like the perception system and stuff. But for now, we're going to make a basic AI controller. So come into here, make it in here for now. Da, da, da. In here, let's play a controller. AI controller. There we go. I'll just call it base AI controller. Right, so as usual, yep, reload all. Thank you very much. We want the on possess. So we've got the ability to. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, fair enough. Whatever. So we've got the ability to um, hook into the pawns events, basically. This is going to be one of the main things. So we want the controller to implement an interface that I made, which is going to be public event listener. There we go. Tidy this up a bit. And you can go away. Thank you very much. And in order to utilize this, we need this event here, event triggered. So we override this. Do we override it? I think that's how we do it in here. Oh, possibly not. Oh yeah, no, we do, yeah, because it's the interface and it's there. Okay, awesome. So what we need to do now is register to the event listener manager in our case. So we have a nice little thing here. Why? I'll probably want to take some of the definitions because they're surprisingly useful. That's interesting. Where did that come from then? There was this game instance. Oh, part of weapon creator. Okay, whatever. To be fair, we'll need weapon creator as well anyway. But now we'll just put this under here because it's quite useful. Right. So we basically want to copy this. Then we want to get our good grief, there's so much in here. Then we want gameplay statistics. And we want to get that. Then we want to include a definition to the event manager, and there we go. Right, so what this does, so I have my own event manager class, right? So if I go into it here, so it's really straightforward, and in theory I should probably be using delegates to do this, but I just wanted to do it myself just to figure out how to make it work well, basically. So what we do is we register to specific types of events. So we have an array of event types that we want to register to. We are the listener in this case because we've implemented the iEvent listener. And then for every type of event, we either add or find the existing array of listeners that are also listening to that event and add ourselves to it. So this is simply a map of event type to f listeners, which is an array inside a struct. The reason we have the array inside of the struct is because you can't have a T map with an array inside it, or you can, but there's some things that it doesn't like doing, and it just complains a lot at you, and it's not worth the effort. And so we register ourselves as a listener, and then anything that ever causes an event to occur comes into this event triggered method. So the only example we have for this at the moment is in the character class, and this is when our health changes. So I've made some nice little shorthand definitions for these. So firstly, we've got this event triggered, and all it is the shorthand for the game instance, get the event manager, trigger the event, base event. So it comes into here, runs this method with the event that you've triggered. And then if I come back to here, we then create a health change event. So this is a type event that extends base event. It has a relevant health change and whether or not it's before the health is changed or after. And I've included both of these, or this as a concept, because without it, certain abilities and effects, for instance, might reduce the damage that you take before you take it. So a shield ability will intercept the health change and set the value to lower than what it would otherwise be. And then the same goes for, afterwards. You might want to wait until to heal some, I don't know, an effect that triggers after you take damage that heals you. So it waits until after the health change event's gone off. And then the other event we have is this combat state change, which is basically a case of the character knowing whether or not they're in combat. This isn't fully implemented, but it functions. It causes a state change combat event to trigger, which has its its own enumeration struct even with the old state and the current state. And that's the source. I can't remember what I used that for, if at all. Set event owner. I guess I don't. Hang on, let me. Oh, the source is this. Oh, okay, it's the source of the change. Okay, fair enough. So with that in mind, we have an AI. Now we want to listen to combat state of changes to know when we're in combat, typically when we've been shot at. And well, if we've taken damage essentially. So because the combat state change hasn't been fully implemented yet, I'm not going to make use of that. But for now, all we need to do is check the type of event and make sure it's got the right data basically. So we have event triggered, and we pretty much just need this. It saves me having to type it all out again anyway. So yep, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. How did this have access to that? Perhaps because it's not been compiled. Just rebuild this. This comes from the generated file, I would imagine. So we close that, probably that. Cool. We'll just see if this compiles first. And then we need to start adding in the idea of a target and damaging them, all that fancy stuff. That's interesting. All right, doesn't matter for now anyway. In fact, we don't need the log at all at the moment. Oh, we actually need health and things as well, but for now we'll just leave it as is and make sure that this side of it works. So, I've always done this in the past by having the private a is it not? Steal it from me. So typically I'd have this. Do you not? Oh, okay. Just do some forward declaration on that, and then add it in there. We'll definitely be needing that one a lot. Yeah, so in here we basically want to check if the health change event get change. Why did that move down there? Dot. Oh, that's interesting. event owner. Yeah. So when we trigger it, because the source of the health change. Sorry, it's been a while since I've looked at this part of the project actually. Oh, it's set in the weapon, I suppose. That can't be right. I haven't got this far in this part of my system. So this is checking, so the source is where it came from. Oh, that would be in the thing that triggers the event, wouldn't it? Sorry. So in this, yeah, the event owner is the owner. So we come into here and we create a health change event, and the owner is this. So the owner of that particular event is us. So yeah, therefore the controller, this, so I'll just write this down. We also want to check hit change.heals false. Only trigger after health changed. The change it heal and the change is our pawn. There we go. So now we know our our mech, in our case our character for the AI, has been hit by something that does damage. So now we can essentially get the source and set that as our target. So we could go target equals change event dot get change dot source. So we can now set the target to the source of the change, which in our case comes from the projectile. So the projectile source, well, it comes from the weapon actually. Hang on, let me just somewhere in era. Source owner, yeah. So it's the owner of the weapon is the source. So obviously we want to fight back against the thing that's shooting at us. So now we have a target, and we need to check a few things. But in order to check these other few things, we need to add in some extra details to the character. Close all but this. So we want this a structure which should probably belong to the character itself. Yeah, let's do that. Just be lazy again. Just commandeer this. Okay, so we want F character stats. And we want float. So we want health. Move speed. Oh, is it thinking about that? Yeah, okay. To be honest, that will do for now. Right, and then in the character, this is quite a nice means of doing this. We have current stats, and then we have max stats. And so now we have a structure which at least represents our health. And all we have to do is go into here and we go current stats, max stats, and then we just simply do max stats dot health. Let's make it 1000. Yeah, I think that's fine. Don't remember. I've probably been in begin play as it's set. So it walks. Does it get movement component? Whatever, we'll get back to the movement speed side of things later. Anyway, so now we have max stats, or maximum health, minimum health, and in theory those shouldn't change for the most part. And now what we can do is in here, current stats dot health plus equals health change dot change amount. This is going to be minus equals change amount. And then we clamp the values. And there was a very useful clamp thing. Const tx clamps x between min and max. So it's min and then max. Okay, cool. So we want and then it's going to be max stats. Oh, sorry, it's minimum 0, maximum health. There we go. This means we can't go below 0 or above our maximum health, hopefully. Okie doke. So now we can actually change our health, and we have health to lose and things. We need another very straightforward method. I'm actually going to make 2. Because contextually it helps. I know I could do this in 1. I mean, I could do like and this would turn current stats dot health less than or equal to 0. There we go. Because obviously in our controller we need to check a few things. So first and foremost, we want to check whether or not target this. So if we don't have a target, we don't care. Otherwise, dot is dead. so now we know we don't need to go any further if either of these aren't the case. If our target's not null, then we don't care about any of this. Or if our target isn't null, but it's dead or still alive, then obviously we carry on trying to kill it. Then we need to do a few other useful things, but the main thing I want to do now is to make an interface before I go any further in this. I'll give hopefully a fairly good explanation as to why I'm about to do what I'm going to, but basically one of the features I want in my game is to be able to attack multiple types of things. You shouldn't just be able to kill the characters. You want to be able to damage like buildings, and there could be like deployable turrets, shield generators, all that kind of stuff. In order to do so, I need to make an interface, which I'll just make in here really quick. Unreal interface. So this is going to be damage. I'm just going to leave it as that actually, because it's pretty clean. So it just makes a nice little, reloadable. Yeah. Okay, so we get rid of that. Let's tidy this up yet again. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so current health. We want to get max health. We're actually going to move these definitions here out into this interface. And in fact, I can move the entire definition of this one out. That one we don't care too much about. So what an interface allows us to do is to make it so anything with that interface is something that we can interact with in this way. So as an example, the most significant thing I'm going to do here is add this change health method into here. Right. So now what we have is the capability of changing the health of anything that has this eye damageable interface on it. So in order to add it, we literally just go up here, public eye damageable. So we pick that up. We don't need that one anymore. Overriding, yeah, so excellent. So all we have had to do for this, and let's just put this just right, is add in, well, essentially, this already has, good grief, sorry, already has these methods. So we're going to be overriding them. So I need to just quickly, because I still haven't figured out how to make this part of it work. You're supposed to be able to make it so you don't have to do what I'm doing here, but I had never got it to work before. So for now, I'll leave them like this. Just going to assume true. And there's the, oh, these should be floats. Oh, why does it? Yeah, hang on. We need these as well. Just shove these into here. And then this, turn, current stats dot health. Oh, wrong. Good grief, come on. There, right. Yeah, so we then override and override. And there we go. So now anything that is damageable, we have a get current health, a get max health, an is alive, and an is dead, and the ability to interact with its maximum health, change its health, following this structure here, which should be generic enough that everything can make effective use of it without having to worry too much about it. Just going to quickly look up pure virtual functions. Oh wow, that was asked a long time ago. Let's have a look. Creating interfaces. It's a bit lackluster there. In theory, we shouldn't have to define or to implement the actual logic for all of them. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Some of these blogs are amazing. It's that kind of thing. That's a blueprint native event. That's the implementation. Man, I'm gonna have to post a question about that in the forums, but I'm 100% sure we're capable of doing this. Anywho, not to get too sidetracked, it doesn't matter, it just adds some excess lines of code in here. Right, so now in here, So we have all of the same stuff as before. Let's just rebuild whilst we're all here. Blah 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 blah. So this target now doesn't need to be this. Now it can be I. Oh, whoops. Wide spelling is absolutely fucking atrocious. Okay. Then in here. Excellent. So our target is going to implement the source. Oh, why did just change it whilst it was compiling, so I don't blame it. Oh, hang on. Should it be U damageable? Hang on. 1 second. Why am I going in here? It uses the same premise. Like this. Blah blah blah. I thought it did anyway. Am I looking in the wrong class for this? Probably. Yeah, probably. Hang on, let's go into it's gonna be like the scoreboard, isn't it? Game mode, I suppose. No, it does use the I part of it. Because that's the Plasma Storm one. Can I make a base game mode? Probably this. Oh, it's if it implements that, then you, okay, yeah. Sorry, alright. Curious, why didn't that work? Okay, now let's see what happens. It should complain about this, to be fair. Well, no, actually, maybe it wouldn't. Yeah, because we know the source is a character. Perhaps I need to change that to be the damageable interface as well, but we'll get round to that at some point. Target undeclared identifier. That's interesting. I mean, it's there. Oh, let's try that. I mean, we've literally done this in the event system, right? Event manager. F listeners. An array of event listeners, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm not doing anything incorrect there. I forgot I'd already done it elsewhere. It's probably this. It just doesn't know what iDamageable is when it compiles it. So obviously it compiles the header first. There we go. Yeah, okay. So I just needed to, this is called forward declaration for those who don't know. And it's where you say there's a thing called this that exists. And then as long as you define it where you use it, so in our case we're using it inside of here, so we include it here, everything's good ish. Cool. And the reason this works is because our source is of type AMEC RPG character, which implements the interface iDamageable, so target and the source are compatible. Which is fine. I probably need to change the source to be like a U object or something. But for now it will do. So now we have something we know we can fight. Now obviously we need to actually fight back. We have health, we can do damage, we can take damage. We've got the event system implemented. So let's just check if this works. Blah, 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 blah. Inferior and nothing. Intriguing. I know why. My bad. Give me a sec. We need to change the project properties. In here. No, hang on. It is inside the. It's not in here. It's cool. God, it's in one of them. Is it the build? Nope. Oh, I'm thinking something completely different here. As a class, I'm thinking of. Is it game mode? Right. Is it not in here? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to look in here again. Oh, it's just for the hard, isn't it? Okay, maybe it is during runtime. Well, I mean, if we go here, duplicate this, call it AI for now. I think it's just in here, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Base AI controller. I'll save, close. Let me just get rid of that. Shove one of those down and hope it works. Huzzah! Right. So this is really cool, as we can see the exact flow of events. So first and foremost, the projectile hit a target. Should go into here. So our projectiles on hit was run. We detected it was a mech, and then we ran the health change event method. Go into the health change event method. So we now have this 30 damage. It's not healing, it's kinetic damage, and it's from our top down character C. So we come into here. We then well, we will trigger event, but basically we come into here because it's a damaging effect, and we will take damage. So in theory, if I go to here, well, so, I mean, you can see, So you can see it comes into here. We triggered the change event, and then we come into this event here. So our event is a health change event. The event owner is us, our new AI. The event type is health change, and you can see it's a pre-health change, and then it's 30, and it's kinetic damage, and the source is us. The bit which I don't like that hasn't changed, that I need to fix, is this should be set to 25, because if I close all but this and go back to here, we should have changed the amount here. So I need to look into changing the references and making sure that the struct inside this structure gets changed properly. We'll figure that one out, but that's important. But for now, we know this side of it works, and so we've got a target. Well, we don't have a target yet. They're not dead. Oh, there's meant to be a not in front of that. Let me stop this and go again. we want to start if they're not dead, or in fact for practical for making this is the whole point. In fact, oh no, yeah. No, I'm right. Hang on. Let's run this through again. Oh, I'm all over the place. I'll just add some comment above this so I don't make the same mistake twice. So we want there we go. Just to clarify that. I'll just recompile, so otherwise it won't hit the debug point. In theory, this is probably, oh no, it's fine. It's gonna say sometimes it doesn't save. Okay, so we come into here, target is null. The event is health change. Oh, for God's sake, fine. Oh, fact, again, not heals, just to shorten that. Come on, you can do it. Right. I'm free. Blah blah blah. So we know it goes through to this. So it doesn't heal, which we're checking. It's a health change. The event owner is us. So pawn, this is important. So that's AI underscore C. Seems to match. So that should be the case. But it doesn't go through. How is the... Oh, wait. I'm being stupid. Does it go through now? Yeah, it does. Sorry, that was the pre-health change. Ah, okay. Hang on. So what I said earlier might not be the case. Yeah, okay, there we go. I forgot it calls it twice. So there you go. So the damage is correct. We've gone through, and if I go down to here, our target is now the top-down character. Wonderful. Pew. Good. So we can, that's gone through. So that's AI registering to the event manager, the enemy AI creating a projectile hitting us detecting that we've been hit, triggering an event, the AI listening to said event, and then responding to it by figuring out whether or not it's something we care about. And in this case it was, because it's a non-healing effect that affects us. And lo and behold, we get a target, something that we can shoot at. Oh, wonderful. Right. I'm glad I'm not going completely mad. I thought I was screwing that one up pretty badly there. So now we have our target acquisition. Obviously, we need to actually shoot said target, which in theory should be pretty straightforward, I think. No, come on. I'm actually going to use the generation for this if I can. Extensions, generate code, override members. Let's just tick. There we go. Curious, does that not? Doesn't. Interesting. Well, I suppose it doesn't assume. Cool. Right, there we go. Good old resharper. I'm probably going to pay monthly for that when it runs out. Cool. So we need the tick stuff, and we also need to be able to shoot the gun. So we need to like look at our target, which we already kind of have code for in here. So we've got look at, which I'm going to steal from here. I'll just explain it once I put it in. Okay. And then we just need to commandeer these because they're really useful. These are just definitions to get the actor location and rotation without having to do that every damn time. I'm going to change that to get character because it's more specific. Right. What this does is it just uses the Kismet Math library, gets our location, gets the look at location, which in our case will be the thing that we're trying to shoot at, and we rotate to face it. Simple as that. Set the actor rotation. So this will be constantly looking at our target. So we go target not equal to no look at target. Oh, that's a good point. The huh. Well, I suppose they'd always have a location. So, problem I just run into is our iDamageable obviously doesn't have an actor location because it's an interface for the health side of things. Interesting. How have I got past this before? I mean, I can for now assume it's a make character. Well, I know it's going to be an actor, so let's do this, right? But I'm going to what we're going to do is we cast to a actor target. Okay, so I've just done another shorthand. Let's make it a bit nice, cleaner. There we go. So this converts. It's a bit weird. Don't know why it's whatever. This converts the target to a type of actor. We know it's always going to be an actor because things that are damageable exist in the world. It'd be very weird if they didn't. So I'm just going to assume this works. Let's just double check. In theory it should. You may also note that I'm currently using Tick for the AI. I might try and use this project to learn to implement the backboard task system that exists in the Unreal Engine, and do it in C++. Hey, look at that. How cool is that? So they're just following us now. And in Ferry, if we close that, we get our fire code, which is literally this. Into here. Create declaration. Oh, hang on. Just need to do that. Right, let's see what happens. There's no null check or anything here because currently everything's starting with a weapon. It would be weird for me to not give things a weapon by default. In fact, I might put that in the constructor so that everything starts with a basic weapon, even if it doesn't actually do anything. How interesting. Intriguing. Well, I mean, it's functioning. It's always a good start. What the hell have I done? Is this butchered the thing here. Fire direction. Use weapon. How odd. So if I do that, it's fine. Let's put another thing in because I'm pretty sure I've got this data in the system. I'm just gonna make another one. Current weapon. Oh, hang on. There we go. Right. Okay. Okay. So actually in here, if hang on, it's a weapon. No, it's not. It new weapon. This is just so it doesn't keep doing that every single time. If weapon dot gets weapon data dot range, and then we want to do a distance check. So fmap distance, or is it vector distance 2D? No. There's dist and then there's distance. Whatever, who knows, right. Act location and target actor dot act location. So if we're in range, fire, house, move to actor. Let's just inline this. Huh. So this is going to be target location, probably const. Move to actor, sorry, There we go. Right, so now we should, if we're outside of the range of the weapon, move closer. What that distance actually relates to in game, I have no idea. Let's just check the tables. That's 500. Probably a bit much. Let's change this to like 300. Make it 350 and see what happens. The pros of using a spreadsheet: you don't have to go and change values in the game or code. Cool. This will at least give us something that moves around and attempts to shoot us. Doesn't fix the other problem. Okay, that's a really small distance, I suppose. So let's change that again. So okay, let's make it 3000. Change all of them, try and figure out what a good distance is at the same time. This should be stop movement as well. So we stop as soon as we're in range. Hang on. Just recompile. If I can't fix this now, I'll leave it because the video is already an hour long. I would fix that sort of thing offline because it clearly works. This is not working correctly. So. Where's 3000? Really far. Okay, so 3000 a bit much. Okay. Again, just change this to 2000. So usually it's good to go for really big numbers and then kind of tweak them slightly further down and down every time. Let me just hit play. Okay, it's a bit more reasonable, so like 1500 maybe, just so that they have to kind of be in the middle of group, that sort of mid-screen distance from us, and then we can kind of run around the map a bit. Yeah, that looks promising. So I'm curious as to why that is different to this. Because we're constantly getting, so every tick we get the actor. Oh, so obviously this is working, right? And updating. That's pretty odd because it works in the controller as well. We do something different. Oh. Yeah, okay. Being an idiot. Oh, it's the fire shot. It's not the location. Going to ranged weapon. Sorry, projectile weapon. Fine. By rotation, no location. Yeah, okay. So I need to change that. Let's stop this. Go into weapon. Factor, change the signature. Look at rotation. Awesome, right? So that's a bit clearer. Won't make that mistake again. So this is actually the fire direction, which is funny enough what it's called. And we get our actor's rotation and we get the vector of the actor rotation. And inferior. That should be that. Hey. Oh, that's really cool. They stop firing and then they start firing. Obviously, they don't take into account whether they can see me or not, but a lot of this will be changed to use the perception system as well. So we still need it if they've taken damage. So we still need the all this side of things, because they could be shot from outside of their perception, of course, and you kind of want them to respond to that. So this will always exist, but the perception system we can use to then do the usual sound and sight tests. And that should be good. So I've got that working somewhat in the past. It's a little sketchy because sometimes it doesn't take into account whether the character has like full line of sight, because it doesn't really work very well when you're using large projectiles with a big hitbox. Because if you take a line from the central point of the character, then the central point could not pass. So as an example, so like in theory this can happen where technically the perception system goes, oh, we can see you here. Obviously that's the case, but you can't see enough of them for the projectiles to go through. And there's like tolerances and stuff, but I haven't really ironed them out well enough, so I'll go and have a look and see if anyone else has figured it out since I last checked. But there we go. So we went from not having an AI to having a very rudimentary one that uses the health change system. We now have health that goes up and down, and we have an AI that shoots you, so seems pretty good to me. Cool. All right, hopefully this is vaguely interesting and I'm not getting too hung up on issues this time. I'm actually putting some effort into making the videos a bit more apparent as to what they cover rather than just numbering them, which I figured was a bit crap. Yeah, I will leave it there, and hopefully this helps somebody once. And this project is gonna be completely public. At least the code is. The content that I inevitably make with it won't be, but the actual framework for the game will be. You have to put the effort into level design and stuff like I do, but maybe we'll actually get there with this one because it's going surprisingly well. So I'll see you guys around.